Sensation back at you. I'm messing with PCs again today. $100 yard sale find computers. I'm getting the two mini computers ready for resale. So I told you guys and gals I was going to sell it, and I have ran into problems with both these computers. This one here is the i7-7700, and I'm going to show you what the problem is. I put 16 gigs of RAM in this, and when I did it, it registered 16 gigs of RAM, but well, let me get it to wake up here. I put Windows back on it, so I reinstalled Windows, and if I go to the system now, it shows 8 gigs of RAM. You can see it there. It doesn't show the 16 gigs of RAM. Well, I'm going to remove the side cover, because the other thing I noticed is we're losing our video, but we'll get it back here. Get these two side panel screws out and drop them so I can't never find them again. Our RGB's not lit up on the RAM either. So this video is going to be you and I diagnosing what in the world went wrong with our $100 computer that worked brilliantly. I'll tell you about the other one in a second, but we're going to order some parts for it. So I'm going to shut this one down, set you on a tripod, and we're going to get to the bottom of what's going on with our $100 yard sale find i7-7700. So the graphics card I got sitting in here is going to be a GTX 1060. I took the 1070 out, and I'm going to tell you why, because I'm going down a different road with these right now. But I got the solid state drive mounted in here instead of down in the bottom like it was before. But we have to figure out what's going on with the memory. I'm gonna put another 16 gigs in it to bump it up to 32. But first I want to check this memory and see why it's not working. So I'm gonna put you on time lapse while I start working on the memory, and you can see it's a cable mess, so we're gonna try cleaning this up. But I'll put you on the tripod, time lapse you, and we'll get through and figure out our memory issues and try to get our 32 gigs of memory working so we can get this ready to list today and resell it. Okay, we have tried reseating the memory and we're still getting the same thing out of it. So I'm going to take these two modules out. This is two 8 gig modules that make up the 16 gigs. They're Corsair Vengeance. One of them the lights worked on, the other one it didn't. I'm going to go with a single 16 gig stick, and I'm going to run that in the first slot to see if we can get it to light up. Actually, I'm going to run it in the second slot. Typically, if you want to run single channel, that's how you would do it anyway. So we're going to go to the second slot here, and we're just going to see if we can get it to light up with this 16 gig. I'm not sure what broke. I'm not. We had 16 gigs working before, but I'm not sure what broke on it. So let me hit the... You'll hear it beep if it's going to post. I don't know if that memory is... Yeah, we got no post, so there's no beep there, so there's no post. So we're going to take that out, and then we're going to try it in the first slot. I don't know if we got a motherboard issue with this. Maybe we need to look at reseating the processor. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I know the reason why these were out at the yard sale cheap. It's kind of crazy though, because when I first put the two 16 gig modules in, the thing took off and worked great. And yeah, we're still at 0 posting. So let's shut that off here. So that 16 gig module isn't doing a thing. I'm going to put you guys back on the time lapse so the video's not too long. And I have a couple of, these are 4 gigs a piece. So I have a couple of these 4 gig sticks here. This is what come in, and I'm gonna try to put this back in there and see what we can get out of it. But I'm gonna time lapse you, and I'm gonna work on some different stuff here. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, whatever we did work there, because we got, if you put 2 4s in it, that's 8 gigs. You put 2 8s in, that's 16 more, that's 24 gigs of RAM. So I took the original RAM that come out of it and put it in slots 2 and 4. Let me get my phone here. I'll show you how I did it. If I bump that HDMI cable, we lose our screen too. I'll show you that. All right, so I put the original 2. Look next to the RGB, you'll see the small one down there. It's hard to see through all these damn spider web of cables. I hate this case and the way it's laid out because it nowhere to hide the cabling. None. So you got cables everywhere. I'm going to try to straighten it out a little bit better, obviously. But this is as far as I'm going to go on it. It's got a 500 gig SSD in it. No room really to try to cram a hard drive in there, so I'm not even going to try it. Stock cooler. i7 7700 500 watt EVGA power supply, Zotac GTX 1066 gig. It'll play games. I mean, that's what it's for, just a cheap gaming computer. It has a total of 24 gigs of RAM in it. You can see that right there. So we got 24 gigs of RAM in it. I'm going to make sure it's stable by testing a couple of things on it. This has the long-term Windows 10 Internet of Things Enterprise LTSC. I put this on all the gaming computers because this operating system will get support until January 13th of 2032. That's per Microsoft, not per SimStation. So I don't like the theme on this being light. So one of the things I like to do here is go to my settings, personalization, and I go to, I believe it's colors. We go to dark on the apps, and I turn off transparency. So that's what gives you the dark theme on the apps, in case you didn't know how to do that. But you can see we got a pretty capable system here. i7 7700, 24 gigabytes of RAM right there. Windows 10 IoT, Enterprise LTSC 21H2. So we got all that done. There's a couple things I want to install on it because it is a clean install, and this is a stripped down version of Windows. So we'll pull our device manager up too. You can see that we gotta put some drivers on it still. We're missing a few drivers here, but there's your graphics card, GTX 1060 6 gigabyte right there, and it is a Zotac card. So this one's pretty well ready now. That's what I wanted to do to it to get it ready, was figure out why we were showing 8 gigs of memory when we should have been showing 16. And I'm just going to leave the other 4 gig sticks in it and let it go with 24 gigs of RAM on it. I took the 1070 out of it to use in another build. I'm not going to tell you because it's kind of a surprise. I've purposely been holding the video off on it. It relates to another video I did, but I've purposely been holding off the video because I'm waiting on some parts, and they were supposed to be here today, but they didn't make it, and that was going to be my video for Tuesday's drop, because I have decided that 3 nights or 3 days a week is too many videos. I can't produce that many. So I'm going to try a Tuesday and Thursday night drop for a while, like I did last week, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm not going to shoot for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's just too much, guys and gals. It's a lot to edit videos. It really is. But I've got some exciting content coming that I'm going to be creating, and I got to have a seat here. So we diagnosed the memory problem right there, or did we? Because we got the 2 sticks that I was having a problem out of to work in different slots. But we got all 24 gigs of RAM in it. I want to make sure it's stable before I take pictures of it and get it ready to list for resale. But that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get that thing ready to sell. The update on the other mini computer down here is I can take this out of the case, okay? And I can test all the components in it. And they work fine. If I put it in the case, they don't. I've checked for pins in the wrong places, you know, standoffs being wrong, la-da-da-da-da-da-da. I can't find anywhere where that motherboard's shorting unless it's back here on the I/O shield. So I haven't tried taking that out yet. But I could spend hours and hours fighting this, or I can do the simple solution and make this thing more attractive for resale and order a Cooler Master case for it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's the little Cooler Master light case. And I'm going to stuff it full of RGB fans because guess what? RGB sells. Bling sells. I call it bling. Bling sells. So we're going to repurpose this one. We're going to put all these components in a different case and add some RGB to it. And then put it up for sale. Another computer I want to show you. Here's another Dell XPS. And I stripped this one out a long time ago. But I have it sitting here. And I never junked the case because the case is not in bad position or condition. I just couldn't figure out what I want to do with it. So this is just giving you a tour of some of what I got left over. So this is a Studio XPS, and you can see it had a Core i5 in it right there. Windows 7 come on it originally, la da 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 da, right? What do you think of this? You can see how it's got yellowing on the plastic, and I have tried the magic eraser and everything and clean this up. And the sides cleaned up great, but the other yellowing didn't come off. So I'm sitting here, it's actually because of what else I'm doing here, and that's to our, I'm just switching all over the place. Let me show you what's in this box. Oh, let me get it out of here. That's Lexan, or plexiglass, as some of you would call it at Shatterproof. Lexan. It's clear, it's just got a protective coating on it. I bought that for the $100 computer, right here. So I am going to tear this computer all the way apart. Oh, just broke the arm off my chair, and I'm not kidding you. I'm going to tear this computer all the way apart, and I didn't break that arm just now. It's been broke a while. I'm going to drill these pop rivets out all the way around. I'm going to take every metal piece off this computer. I'm going to drill it out, remove it, and I'm going to completely paint this computer and redo it. And I thought about cutting the original side panel and putting the plexiglass in it to open it up and add RGB lighting to the front and the back of it and the CPU cooler and give it bling, right? I don't really want to butcher a good Cooler Master Hoff case because half of you would say, don't do that, that's stupid. And the other half of you would say, butcher it and make it look better. So to appease both halves of you, I have decided that I'm going to build a new side panel out of the Lexan. And that is clear Lexan. So what I'm going to do is let me get this out of here. I'm going to show you how we can tint that with paint and you can still see through it. So I'm going to tint that and smoke it just like you would see on a regular one. And I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to drill new holes in it. I'm just going to hold it up here for a mock-up real quick. So I'm going to cut it down to size. And I'm going to drill new holes in it. And I'm going to tint it. And I'm going to completely build a side panel out of that piece. So it's going to be completely clear. It's going to be harder for you to imagine than what I can see, but all this will be painted behind it. And I think I'll go with like a black metallic, but we'll see. I might do a black metallic on it, but this is on the $50 marketplace computer. So nobody commented for me to restore the case, but I want to do it. The Lexons for a piece this size cost me like $16, so it's a little expensive, but it's not terrible. But I can cut this out, and I can drill 4 holes and tap them on the top and on the bottom, and that'll give us the mounting holes for that Lexon. And it'll have the tent look, and you'll be able to see the hole inside of this. I'm not going to build a basement for it. I thought about that. I'm just not going to do it. I could shroud it out of sheet metal. It looks clean enough now. Let's face it, it's clean enough now that it can pass with a clear side panel. So that's what we're going to do, or that's what I'm going to do at least. And I'm going to video the whole series on this computer. I don't want to make this video super long, but I will video the whole series on transforming the $50 gaming computer. It's not the same no more, by no means. The graphics card might be where the 1070 ends up, honestly. And I'm going to buy a different GPU for that little machine there when it goes in the Cooler Master case. But I got computers all over the place, and I'm still hiding one from you, or 2, maybe 3. I don't know. You're gonna get it out of SimStation, but I gotta continue with content, guys and gals. So I can't let all the cats out of the bag. I can just show you some of the stuff that I got coming up. But getting off of that computer, and what we're gonna do to that is what got me thinking about this one. I love the Dell XPS series, period. And I know that some of you guys and gals probably feel the same way. These were, for a lot of people, not me because it's too new for that, but for a lot of people, these were their original gaming PCs. And I'll get that side panel off, bust all my fingers. So when I paint these, I'll paint them professionally. I have a paint gun, and you've seen my air compressors on another video. I will, when I paint the other one, I'll paint it professionally, but I'm thinking about restoring this case too. I can teach you guys and gals how to repaint this plastic right here. And you see, we got the original Windows 7 COA there. Don't copy my key codes. Not that 7 supported anyway. But I don't have the internals for this, so probably... We might have a video idea, guys and gals. We know we have a problem with this case, right? Instead of spending money to order a new case, what if we already had one sitting here? Tell me your thoughts on this one. Restore this case, repaint it, make it cool, and use the guts out of the mini PC case here. I'll let you guys and gals decide it. The views have come up on the videos, the subscriber counts come up, and the comments have come up. So comment on this video and tell me if we should restore that case and move the guts out of this one into that one and sell that gamer that way. We'll put the Dell XPS in a new light. That's going to do it, though, for this video. It's getting too long. I'm ranting on, and I'm going to let too many cats out of the bag here, so I'm going to stop. We got one of our $100 computers working. I got to do a little cleanup on it still, install some software, but she is ready for resale. And that was the goal today. We had to diagnose the memory problem, get it working. We ended up with 24 gigs of working DDR4 RAM on an i7-7700. So Zotac 1060. We're going to see how that 1070 works in our $50 gaming PC. And you're going to say, on that stupid i5? Now, just wait for the videos to drop. Wait for the videos to drop. This is going to get better and better every day. I'm telling you guys and gals, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe on these videos. Subscribe to the channel, I mean. You're going to see custom work. You're going to see computer cases completely tore down to look like they're destroyed, repainted, repurposed, and brought into 2025 in the modern day. And that's what I do with this hardware here at SimStation. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We will catch you on the next SimStation production.